Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for logging in to this year's virtual iBuildSG Scholarship and Sponsorship Award ceremony. Our guest of honor will be arriving shortly to address our recipients. We will be commencing this ceremony at about 2 p.m. Do stay tuned till the end of our show as our guest of honor, together with our 4 industry young leaders, will be answering your burning questions about the sector in a 30-minute panel session. To participate in this session, feel free to start posting your questions in the text box on the right of your screen now. You can also vote for the questions posted by your peers by clicking on the voting buttons as seen on the right of your screen. Remember, only the upvoted questions and top voted questions will be addressed during the panel session. Kindly remain on this platform and enjoy some of the videos that we have prepared while we wait for the arrival of our guests. Thank you.
Growing up, I was always a curious child. My dad was always fixing things. He ensured a well-maintained house where everything functioned well, and I would observe the way he carried out his tasks. He was driven and very hardworking. He made sure our family lived comfortably and took good care of us.
Ashraf, makan.
After he passed on, I felt like that part of him stayed with me. I took it upon myself to carry on what he had left, his values, his legacy. I wanted to take care of my family and make an impact on the community as well. So, very naturally, facilities management had to be my choice of study. And I also had a great mentor who impacted me in my career path. Because of that, my aspiration is to give back to society by imparting skills in the built environment and teaching facilities management to other young students. I hope this inspires them to do the same. In the meantime, I am a property officer, doing what I can to take care of the well-being of the buildings under my supervision. My job scope is sort of like a building doctor. I help ensure that we have a safe, efficient, and comfortable living environment. Some of my favorite parts of the job involve being able to use my problem-solving skills to help others. The recognition of my efforts and the smiles I receive from residents gives new meaning to my job. Along the way, I develop good relationships with the residents and they become my community. I also get to see how my hard work allows them to live comfortably. The multifaceted job comes with its healthy challenges. I also get to use technical skills such as implementing new solutions that enhance and maintain the building's performance. I hope to see more and more smart FM technologies being implemented in the facilities management industry. It is an enriching experience because there are always new things to learn every day. Having a job that allows me to be a part of creating an environment where Singaporeans feel happy and comfortable fills me with determination and confidence to achieve more for my community. My name is Ashraf. I am 26 years old and I am a property officer.
Since I was a young boy, I've always been curious. I spent my childhood exploring my grandfather's workshop and making wooden toys. I learned the importance of being resourceful and creative from my grandfather. His encouragement and my curiosity are what spurred my passions in making, graphic design, and eventually architecture. I learned skills that could take what's in my brain and make it real. Small things like doodling as a teenager helped me understand design language, enabling me to turn my doodles into designs for my school. To do so, I've taught myself how to use various software such as Rhino, Grasshopper, and Photoshop, which are useful in my courses and personal projects. Leveraging on softwares allowed me to quickly improve my design skills, and because the built environment is made of like-minded individuals who carry the same passion and vigor, I get to play my part and help others along. Being an aspiring architect in the built environment isn't just about designing buildings, but creating spaces for people to live and enjoy. Good design should improve people's quality of life. Thus, the pursuit can often require multidisciplinary skills across the arts, sciences, technology, and law. To understand this makes me better appreciate the built environment and how creatives and innovative designers have worked hard to form Singapore's iconic landscape. From houses and skyscrapers to integrated developments and sustainable city planning, all these would not be possible without them. These challenges drive me to improve myself and those around me, and to learn more about the world, in hope that one day I'll be there to make sustainable architecture part of Singapore's skyline. My name is Benjamin Chong. I'm 24 years old, and I'm studying to be an architect.
Have you ever had a life-changing experience that led you to want to make a difference in society?
Anyone out there? We are stuck
When something
here.
like that happens, you realize how a single act can make a huge difference. From that day on, I knew what my purpose in life was going to be.
Are you okay? I'm here to help.
I wanted to be like the guy who saved me and joined the lift industry. Working in the built environment reminds me that I can constantly improve myself while making a difference in society. I am also motivated to work harder, knowing that my work impacts others as well. I am not alone in this. Whenever I face challenges, I am reminded that I have like-minded people around me. Their passion and talent for the job spur me on.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our guest of honor will be arriving soon. For recipients who have just joined us, feel free to start posting your questions in the text box on the right of your screen now. You can also vote for the questions posted by your peers by clicking on the voting buttons as seen on the right of your screen. Remember to vote, as only top voted questions will be addressed during the panel session. Kindly remain on this platform while we wait for the arrival of our guests. Thank you.
For many years, I've helped to build buildings. These days, I often catch myself looking up at them. My dear daughter, I'm writing this letter to tell you things I've never said before. As a father, I have many worries. More so now that you're about to venture forward. I worry because it reminds me of myself. There was a time when I was young, when I felt invincible, and my dreams were right there, within my grasp.
I want to be an astronaut.
And there was a time when I felt these feelings fading.
So sorry, I was in a meeting just now.
This letter tells you about these times. times when I felt I didn't fit in. When I started to doubt the relevance of my skills. When everyone was progressing without me. But this letter I write is also about how I found myself again. While you're here at these crossroads of your life, you can lament the way things are. Or you can choose to push beyond your boundaries.
Today we are here to learn about integrated digital living.
If you do that, you'll find yourself learning everything there is to learn. Push yourself so you can see how far you can go. Achieve something you thought was impossible. Only then will your eyes be open to new perspectives.
Your project went very well.
You see, time may not stop for you, but you can learn to change with the times. Move forward with the rest of the world.
This is for you.
This is a journey you have to discover by yourself. Maybe that journey will be one similar to mine. Maybe you'll see what I've seen and set foot on grounds that I've walked. But whatever your journey is, I know that it will be one of determination. I know it will be one of endless learning. The dreams that you once had, they weren't lost to time. They were only waiting to be rediscovered.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our guest of honor will be arriving soon. For recipients who have just joined us, feel free to start posting your questions in the text box on the right of your screen now. You can also vote for questions posted by your peers by clicking on the voting buttons as seen on the right of your screen. Remember to vote, as only the top voted questions will be addressed during the panel session. Kindly remain on this platform while we wait for the arrival of our guests. Thank you. A very good afternoon to our guests of honor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our iBuildSG Scholarship and Sponsorship Award ceremony. We are now reporting live from BCA Breda campus. My name is Architect Colin Chew, and I'm pleased to be your host for this afternoon's ceremony. Now, in the past, BCA will hold this prestigious event physically to commemorate this important event for our recipients. Now, because of the pandemic, we are holding this for the very first time virtually. First, Do allow us to give a very quick and brief introduction of our iBuildSG scholarship and sponsorship programs. It represents a concerted effort between the Building and Construction Authority as well as our industry stakeholders to offer our young talents opportunities in developing our exciting and fulfilling careers in the built environment sector, or in short, the BE sector. And today, we have 100 industry sponsors and a total of 472 scholarship and sponsorship recipients. It is a proud day of celebration for these young talents who will become the future leaders of our BE sector. Now, to start off today's program, it is my pleasure to invite our guest of honor, Mr. Tan Kiat Hao, Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office and Ministry of National Development, to deliver the opening speech. MOS, please.
Thank you. Mr. Kelvin Wong, Chief Executive Officer for Building and Construction Authority, recipients of the iBuildSG scholarship and sponsorships, parents, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. I'm very happy to join you at this virtual iBuildSG scholarship and sponsorship ceremony today. Let me start by congratulating our 472 recipients of the iBuildSG Industry Scholarship and Sponsorships. You have done yourself and your parents very proud. I would like to commend and congratulate you on your dedication, hard work, and success. Your scholarship or sponsorship award marks the beginning of your career in the built environment sector. The first-class infrastructure that you see in Singapore today is the result of the hard work of generations of professionals that have come before you. We are not done building Singapore, and I look forward to your contributions in building on this foundation and making your mark on our cityscape. We are constantly reimagining and transforming our urban landscape to meet the nation's changing needs. However, it's not just our infrastructure that is evolving. In tandem with technological advances, we are also transforming the way we build, such as using more digital tools. Designers used to produce 2D drawings for building plans, oftentimes by hand, which often led to coordination issues and abortive work downstream. Now, designers are producing building plans digitally. This allows us to bring together the entire building's life cycle and its various parties, covering design, construction, and facilities management from end to end through a digital spine, which enhances coordination and improves productivity. We are also transforming our building process. We are moving away from traditional in-situ, brick-and-mortar, on-site construction. Increasingly, we are producing building components in off-site automated prefabrication facilities before assembling them on-site. All this makes our construction work quicker, quieter, less labor-intensive, and oftentimes safer. We need a competent workforce to complement these shifts in the way we build. Our transformational area in the areas of design for manufacturing and assembly, or DFMA for short, and integrated digital delivery, or IDD for short, have created highly skilled job roles for professionals in the BE sector. This is where you come in. The course of study that you have chosen will equip you with the skills needed to leverage new technologies in transforming the way we build. For example, Ming Xuan, one of our undergraduate scholars this year, was first introduced to DFMA and IDD and had gained hands-on experience while pursuing a bachelor's degree in civil engineering at the Singapore Institute of Technology, or SIT. He decided to spend his 8-month internship at Kimley Construction Private Limited after learning that the construction firm makes use of innovative technologies such as advanced robotics and automation in its projects. During the internship, Ming Xuan was rotated between 3 departments where he was exposed to the different stages in construction projects. He was also given the opportunity to be involved in a project that used prefabricated, pre-finished volumetric construction, or PPVC. After the internship, Ming Xuan accepted the scholarship and now a full-time job as a planning engineer with Kim Lee. He started working for the company full-time last year. Let me share the experience of Teck Hong, who started his journey as a structural engineer in My Heart Singapore Private Limited after he graduated from the Nanyang Technological University back in 2011. During his time there, Teck Hong gained invaluable experience in planning, design, supervision, and construction from working in a wide range of projects such as the Marina Bay Financial Centre, the National Centre for Infectious Diseases, the Centre for Healthcare Innovation Singapore, and the iconic Singapore Management University Connection Building. He went on to pursue a master's degree in civil engineering sponsored by My Heart. He also obtained his professional engineering qualifications in 2016. He was promoted 3 times in 8 years, assuming a technical director's position last year. Ming Xuan's and Teck Hong's experiences are not unique, and we want to nurture many more talents like them. For those of you who aspire towards leadership positions, you can also refer to the skills framework for the built environment, which we launched last year. It provides a comprehensive overview of the jobs roles available in a sector, and a structured framework to help you upgrade your skills and to progress to the next level of your careers. The skills framework is also a useful reference for our BE firms to develop and retain talent. On this front, we have been working with stakeholders in the sector to adopt this framework, particularly to incorporate best practices in HR, such as employment benefits and performance management. I would like to thank the 100 firms that have sponsored the students who are receiving their scholarships and sponsorships today. 2020 had been a difficult year for all of us, as our sector had been hard hit by COVID-19. Yet, despite these challenges, you remain committed to grooming our young BE professionals. I'm truly heartened and would like to thank you for your support. Let me conclude by congratulating our scholarship and sponsorship recipients and their proud parents once again. The built environment is an exciting sector that is still riding the wave of transformation. We will continue to support the aspirations of our professionals in this sector, and I encourage you to seize the many opportunities ahead of you. I wish you all the best as you embark on your studies and career in the built environment sector. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, MOS, for the speech. This way, please. All right, so what's in store for our scholarship and sponsorship recipients? Let us now hear from some of our recipients on what inspired them to join the sector, and also from firms who have supported us in this journey to develop talents like yourselves in the video. And I hope after this video, it will ignite a deeper passion in all of you and look forward to your journey in the BE sector. Let's enjoy.
The reason why I joined the BCA iBuildSG scholarship program is because there are actually a lot of attractive terms to the scholarship, and also these terms will actually help kickstart my career as well.
My main goal will be to become a proficient design engineer by gaining the necessary qualifications, skills, and knowledge, and to be a part of an organization that ensures Singapore's construction excellence in the years to come.
Lam Zhang, we participated in this BCA iBuildSG scholarship programs. As part of this Singapore build industry, we hope to support this program to raise the awareness and opportunity that this industry can offer.
I aspire to be competent and knowledgeable in the whole aspect of the building life cycle, especially in the M&E services from the designing process up to the operation of the building, and also contributing to making the built environment more sustainable.
The reason why we participate in this BCA iBuildSG scholarship program is for two reasons. One is the qualification of these candidates are very relevant to our company and to the industry. And secondly, it's a great opportunity for us to identify the talent early so that we can bring them in, as part of our development program.
When I joined the BE sector, I look forward to learning as much as I can about design, project management, and the role of the architect in the industry.
We are an international design firm, and we are participating in the BCA iBuild Scholarship Award because we find it's a good area for talent hunting. We get a good pool of candidates.
I took up the iBuildSG scholarship program because this program is well recognized and sought after by students and companies in the build industries.
The industry has made a lot of advancements in productivity, safety, and technology, and these changes need to be accelerated. Kimmy Construction takes part in the BCA iBuildSG Scholarship Sponsorship Program to attract students early into their education to join the industry, so they are well equipped with the specific skills and knowledge in order to contribute to the industry for the future, in order for the betterment of the industry as a whole.
I chose to take up this BCA iBuildSG scholarship because I want to be secured with a firm and to start to serve the industry and gain opportunities as soon as I graduate.
Sebarang Jurong is heartened to have more than 50 BCA iBuildSG scholars who join us upon graduations and are still with us today. We value all our talent and continue to invest in their learning and development.
Well, I hope all of you enjoyed the video. Next up, we have a photo montage of our recipients sponsored by all our 100 industry sponsorship firms this year. Let's have a look. right, nice photo montage indeed. It is motivating to see so many of our young talents raring to take on and take part in transforming the BE sector. Our new scholarship and sponsorship recipients can look forward to many exciting activities ahead to not only deepen your knowledge, build friendship, and also network with one another. So to all our recipients, congratulations, and we hope you are excited on this new journey. We have now come to our Q&A session. May I invite our guest of honor, Mr. Tan Kiet Hao, our moderator, Mr. Ivan Lim, and 4 young leaders to have a look at the questions that our participants have upvoted while I introduce each of you. The moderator for this dialogue is Mr. Ivan Lim. Mr. Ivan is one of the directors under the Manpower Strategy and Planning Group who helps to oversee the formulation and implementation of manpower development policies and programs in BCA. Next, our first young leader, Engineer Pang Pei Song, is a Senior Associate for WSP Consultancy Private Limited. He was the winner of the Young Green Engineer Award in 2019 and involved in some of the key projects such as the South Beach Development, Ocean Financial Center, Project Jewel, and Funan Redevelopment. Our next young leader is Architect Connie Kao. She is a Senior Architect from RSP Architects, Planners and Engineers Private Limited and has participated in our inaugural iBuildSG Lead Horizon program. She participated as a project architect and utilized virtual design and construction VDC in the mixed development project with Capital Land. Following up, we have Mr. Pang Zihao, who is a sustainability manager with CBM Solutions Private Limited. He is currently involved in the development phase of DigiHub system developed by CBM, which aims to improve productivities for facility management service. And our last young leader is Mr. Lee Kong Jian, who was our iBuildSG undergraduate scholarship before and has joined Precast Concrete Private Limited as a DFMA engineer. As a DFMA engineer, he's one of the key players to set up machinery in their Integrated Construction and Prefabrication Hub, ICPH. I shall now hand over the time to our moderator, Mr. Ivan. Ivan, over to you.
Thank you, Colin. A very good afternoon to everyone tuning in. It is my pleasure to host this panel discussion with Minister of State and 4 young leaders of the built environment sector with diverse background. I see many interesting questions already posted online for our panelists, so we can look forward to an insightful session. While more votes are streaming in from our party recipients, I will kickstart the panel discussion with a question for MOS. MOS, as you are aware, the built environment sector is in an exciting phase with transformation underway to meet the demands of the future. As these students embark on their journey to join the sector, could you share your thoughts on the latest developments and potential opportunities?
Thanks, Ivan. I think the built environment sector is always in an exciting phase, so there's always a lot of excitement. And I think I would like to hear from our young leaders as well on your perspectives. Perhaps let me share my perspective, few comments from how I think about it. I think there are going to be exciting changes for the built environment sector in the coming years, 10, 15, 20 years, driven by, I would say, 3 important factors. The first will be really around how we think about sustainability. This is going to be a very important theme for us in Singapore and for the rest of the world as well. Climate change and its consequences and implications and impact on all of us as societies, as nations, especially for us as a small island city, will be quite significant. And I think sustainability will be an important theme, not just for this generation, but as well for future generations. And the built environment sector plays a tremendously key role in this aspect. How you design, how you think about building it, how you think about maintenance, right? And how to sustain it in the long term, not just for this generation, but future generations. So the responsibilities and I would say the opportunities are there. The first big driver for us is sustainability. It's a multi-generational challenge, but I would say a multi-generational opportunity as well for Singapore and our built environment professionals in all the different parts of the value chain. The second driver will be really around what I think will be use of technology. And I think this has really accelerated, especially with COVID-19. There's always a joke in the sector that I used to come from, in the technology sector, what has driven digitalization in your company, you know? Is it the CEO, the CTO, or CIO? But actually the only C that really drove digitalization was COVID. In a way, it's tongue-in-cheek, but I think what it really points to is that some of the changes and structural shifts that we've seen in terms of using technology started before COVID, but certainly accelerated with COVID. Even as we sit around here having a virtual iBuildSG scholarship and sponsorship award, really the use of technology. And we use it so pervasively in our daily lives, from TikTok videos to buying online shopping. But how do we apply technology in the built environment sector? From what I mentioned earlier in my speech, prefabrication, PPVC, using BIM, using IDD, the opportunities are there. And that's going to be a major shift for us, creating new opportunities, good jobs for Singaporeans. And the third important shift, I would say, is really around being bold and innovative, overcoming constraints. I would say that we think about water today. We on the tap, we drink the water, we use water daily in our lives, and we don't think that actually 50 years ago, and not just 50 years, actually recently as 30, 20 years ago, water was still a major constraint for us. But it created technology and industries to really overcome our water challenges, our water constraint. We are not there yet, but I think we make important strides. If you think about the built environment sector, similarly, there are constraints. Land is always scarce in Singapore, right? Resources are scarce in that raw material, talent, manpower is always scarce. But how do you build iconic structures, right? MBFC, all the iconic structures you see in Singapore, and many of them is historical restoration of important sites. How do you think about it? Overcoming challenges in this generation to create the cityscape and urban landscape for the next generation. That will be an important driver for us in the coming years, overcoming our constraints, land, resource, etc. And I think that requires us to be innovative, ambitious, and all of us in this sector can really come together to make our cityscape iconic and world-class in this generation. So three big drivers that creates opportunities for all of us.
Thank you, MOS, for the sharing. All right, now let's turn our attention to some of the votes that are coming in and the questions. I see that this is the top question right now with 85 votes. Someone is asking, is currently interning at a consultant, notice a steep learning curve to what is expected to know. How can I prepare myself for the job? In fact, the next question is quite related. What are the factors to look out for when choosing a job or a firm? Since the question was directed at a consultant company, maybe I could invite my two consultants, young leader here, to maybe share some of the experience that you have went through yourself, and also really along the lines of the questioning, you know, what do you want to tell our recipients here? You know, what do they look out for when they are looking for a job? What are skill sets? Yeah, maybe go ahead.
Okay, Ivan, yeah, I'll take this question. Actually, this question wasn't just asked by the intern students. Years back when I started, in this industry, I also said the same thing. Wow, this very steep learning curve. How am I supposed to overcome it? It's so stressful. But I just want to, I'll say, advise the students, right? Building in the BE sector, it's not just about yourself. It's really about teamwork. So it's not just you in this industry. You actually have your seniors, your management, even external consultants, external partners, stakeholders and stuff like that, to actually work together to build the end product, which is a building. So this is not just about you. You just ask questions when you're feeling stressed. Yeah, so I know sometimes the seniors may be a bit busy with their own work and stuff like that. Afraid not, just take the initiative, just pop over to his desk and say, hi, I got a question, could I ask you, just take out 5 minutes and stuff like that. I think that's the key, you know, stay taking the initiative, stay curious about a job. So what I really want to say about a job, like, it's easy to find a job, but it's definitely very difficult to find a career. A career is something that you keep you motivated. Like when you wake up in the morning, you just don't just go, I don't want to go to work today and stuff like that. So that is the key thing, you know, you have to find it yourself, you know. And one advice that I have for you is that interview process is not just about the hiring manager asking you what your credentials are. you take the opportunity to also ask the hiring manager what are some of the projects that the company take up, like maybe data centers, shopping centers, or maybe like residential. So is it something that you like? If it's something that you like, you would automatically drive a passion and they'll keep you satisfied in your work. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Pei Song. Maybe I can turn the attention to the other side of the house from the young leaders, from the builder's perspective. From the builder's perspective, maybe Kong Jian can share a bit as well from what are the tips you might have for our students who are about to embark in this career. You know, where can they, what should they look out for? What are the factors that they should look out for when choosing a job?
Okay, I would say that newcomers, especially students, when you're looking in the industry, there's so many things that you can join into. Because for us, like for example, they're consultants, they're contractors. For me, I'm a manufacturer of precast components. So there are many things that you can join, which you're undecided to do. But I would say that try to look at things whereby you're interested in. For example, big projects, or because since we're going to technology, we make full use of the technology. So there are many plants, like for example, I'm a automation plant. So we make use of a lot of robotics, a lot of softwares to produce precast in a highly efficient, highly productivity way. So all these factors are things that will sort of, I would say, make you more interested in learning things. So since a lot of you might be lost at what to choose on, so might as well take things like, for example, go and try out new jobs, see whether there are things that you like. So if all these jobs are things that you like, can proceed to learn more about it. Or if let's say you're not really into manufacturing, you want to try out consultant. So after the first one, you want to try out consultant next to see whether it suits you.
Indeed, I think the build environment sector is a value chain of a different work area. You start from the client, the developers who will deal with projects, and then the consultants designing and thinking how to optimize the work. You have the builders really physically creating the product that you see, and then down the line you have the facilities management that will take care of the building through its life cycle. So that skills that you're entering into, there is a wide range of aspect, and there should be something that suits you in that sense. So maybe I'll move on to the next question, which is on COVID-19. The COVID-19 has affected the construction sector, and BCA has been focusing on its recovery by transforming it to be more efficient. What are your firms doing to overcome challenges from COVID-19? I think for this, I'll turn my attention to Connie. Maybe you could share from your firm's perspective. Connie is an architect. So how has things changed, and what is the company doing? And, yep.
Yeah. Well, I think, as all of you know, and Minister rightly pointed out just now, COVID-19 has definitely accelerated the entire digitalization process in my company. So, in fact, it worked so well. We got so used to working from home that we decided that we really don't need people physically in office in order for the business to operate. And we managed to cut down our real estate by almost half. Yeah, so we really focus now on areas like hot desking and more collaborative spaces to facilitate our work. So yeah, I mean, the entire digitalization process has really changed the way we work at our firm.
Thank you, Connie. What about Zihao from the facilities management angle? I imagine it to be also quite a big change since the COVID pandemic started.
Yeah. Thanks, Ivan. So, of course, for FM sector, this COVID definitely is an impact to us, especially, I would say, manpower definitely is a shortage for us. So for our company, I will be doing some marketing for my company side. So actually, for our company, we did develop a system called DigiHub. So this DigiHub the aim is really to improve the productivity of the facility management by integrating IoT sensors and also the analytic tools, and last but not least, machine learning. Okay, so the objective is really to transform. Do take note that the key important word is transform from the traditional way of the preventive maintenance to a next level of predictive maintenance for our FM M&E sector. So this will be really a heads up and the things that we are looking out for, I would say. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Zihao. Actually, on this note about COVID-19, I think MOS yourself, you have also been engaging the industry a lot. And maybe you have anything to share with regards to how the sector is dealing with this COVID-19 and what's the outlook, really?
I think I agree with all the points that are made by our young leaders here and my fellow panelists. And we've been working closely with the construction and the various other partners within the built environment sector to help them to really overcome this crisis, but emerge stronger. I think Zihao mentioned about transformation, and I think Connie talked about doing things quite differently in our offices. The only advice I have for everyone, including beyond the built environment sector, is don't waste a good crisis. There's always an opportunity even when there's a crisis. And it's really an opportunity for us to rethink our assumptions, rethink how we do things, and I think really explore new ideas. And new ideas requires a lot of courage and a lot of mindset change because not all new ideas are good ideas, and not all things we try will succeed. But I think it's just really the ambition and courage we have to try new things. And I've really struck me by visiting the various partners and industry players in this built environment sector, how resilient we all are. Even all the way to real estate agents, developers, builders, consultants, engineers, architects, just willing to try new things. I think that's really quite amazing. And I think we continue to build on this spirit of resilience. And really, I think I'm very optimistic about the future if we continue to have this spirit of can-do, And that's really how we build Singapore.
Thank you, MOS. I think the parents will be more assured, kids joining the sector in years to come. Maybe the next question that we could bring up is quite interesting. What are some of the challenges that the built environment industry face when integrating IDD and other digital solutions in the project? I think this is interesting because digital solutioning, IDD, for those who are not familiar, integrated digital delivery, it's one part of the technology that strings together the long value chain that we just talked about, from the design part all the way to the building and to the FM. So maybe on this note, I could just invite anyone who would like to share some response to the challenges that the built environment industry face integrating IDD. I mean, FM seems to be the director yourself. Yep.
Okay, perhaps let me to answer this question, Ivan. So actually for IDD, as mentioned, one of the key important challenges is actually to persuade and convince our client. Because even though we know that what is IDD, but actually a lot of clients still have a mindset that why do I need to? And why do I need to put in so much effort, so much things into it by just you're telling me that IDD transform will help to improve my productivity. So our key objective is to really show them, to prove to them, how do we do it? What are the things that we're going to install in order to help you by not only reducing manpower, but ultimately also cut down the costs in the event of helping you streamline everything to transform into the next smart BE sector. Yeah, I will say that. Yeah.
Thank you, Zihao. Indeed, this is one new aspect, and anytime that the whole sector, as large as a BE sector, is trying to embark on a transformation area, we could imagine there's a lot of inertia and time needed to smooth out the edges and for us to get there. And I think we are well poised to do so, especially with the young leaders that are also very passionate about this cause. I think we have time for just one last question. This is a question that I think would be useful to wrap up this session. What advice would you give to these students attending the ceremony today? I think, looking at some of the other questions, I think many of the students are really concerned about, they're choosing their career path, signing a bond to continue in this sector for a few years, really. How do they prep themselves, so that they can contribute to the most, to make it best for themselves and also for our nation, so to speak. Maybe I'll invite the young leaders to share around, and then for Moss to help to wrap up.
Okay. So probably I'll share my experience. I think do not give up. I think this BE sector is really very exciting. Like how, the first impression I had, the first achievement I had was when I finished the first project. It was along Collar Key. So when I finished the project, I was standing down on the ground floor, looking up all the way like for a 3-story building, and I was like, wow, I was actually part of it. The satisfaction is something that's tangible, and I would say that, even when I'm 70 or 80s, walking down the memory lane, the building will still be there, so I could tell grandkids and like, hey, your Akong built this. It's something that is really real, and I feel that that's something I want to share with aspiring students like you. Join us, be part of us.
Thank you.
Well, for me, I'll say it's very important for you to prepare yourselves. So really start doing internships when you're a student. I think this will help to give you a very good overview of what you will like and enjoy and what you probably don't. And just keep an open mind, stay positive. It doesn't matter where you start, just start somewhere.
Yeah, for me, I think to be really open-minded and also always take every challenge as an opportunity. Don't think that when you hit a challenge, you face a challenge, you're stressed and you just want to give up. No. You never know that any other one more inch, you will achieve what you want. So always remember, take a challenge as an opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you, Zihao.
Okay, I would say to never stop learning, because there are so many knowledge in this industry. So learn as much as you can. Take your bond period to really learn everything you can in a company as much as you can. Go and talk to your seniors, go and learn from all your supervisors, everyone you can learn from, learn. Then after that, let's say if you need additional skills that you think they will help you in your work externally, do also learn them, then apply to your work. You can make things that are more efficient. You can propose to your bosses to say, hey boss, we can do it this way, you will make things a lot better. So make suggestions along the way, then from that you will also continue learning.
MOS, would you like to add any advice for these youngs?
I agree with all the wisdom and experience I think fellow panelists have shared. I would just add on a couple of points. I think for the scholarship and sponsorship recipients today, whether it's an undergraduate, diploma, IT, postgraduate, or specialist recipients of sponsorship, our commitment to all of you, and many of you who are outside the room, outside the ceremony today, is that we are committed to create opportunities for all Singaporeans in the built environment sector. And there are significant opportunities in the coming years. And opportunities in a way that's continually growing the sector, scaffolding in the careers. That's why we have a skills framework. So every level that allows you to scaffold, to retool, reskill, and up-value our jobs and roles to the next level, regardless of where you're starting from, regardless of which part of the value chain you are from, right? So that's first. And it requires a mindset change that all of us, not just the government, but your employers, the firms, but all of us as workers as well, as part of the workforce, thinking about things as challenges and learning opportunities, willing to take on new ways of doing things, right? Requires a mindset shift. But we are committed to all of you to create that scaffolding opportunities for all of us, for this generation and for many years to come. Second is that I would say is really for us to think about learning about not just technical skills, because I realized that all of our panelists just now mentioned about attitude and mindset, about the kind of things where we ought to seize opportunities, have a courage to do things. Nobody talk about must learn this technique in BIM, go and pick up this skill set. These are technical skills that changes with time. But more importantly, it's the spirit of actually learning, right? And for us, learning, my advice to all of you, the recipients today, is not just learn within your domain, learn within your job scope, but I think be open about other domains, right? Softer skills. Just for example, architecture. It's not just about how you build a building, but actually how you design a place to make it more comfortable, a place maker for people and communities to come together. That requires different skill sets, sustainability, urban design, etc. But it requires us to think laterally sometimes and look at other fields in which we can learn these important skills. So in gist, I would say two things. One is that we are committed to build the opportunities for everyone, but it requires us to adopt all the panelists have said, the mindset and willingness to try out new things at different parts of the value chain, and different where you're starting from, right? We will work together. Second is remain open-minded, look outside the domain. For example, beyond technical skills, but softer skills as well, including how to manage your peers and the other team members. So the soft skills are important, regardless of which sector you're in and which career path you chose for yourself. So I would suggest that these are important life lessons that we can hear from our panelists, and opportunities are there for everyone.
And if I may add, I think for the students, while you are looking forward to the future where you start working, you will have many, many years to work. Don't forget to enjoy studying as well.
Don't scare them.
And with that, I would like to thank MOS and all our panelists for this session today. I'll pass the time back to Colin.
Right. Thank you so much, Ivan, and thank you to our guests of honor as well, and our 4 industry leaders. Thank you for the lively engaging conversation with all of us, and I hope you guys take away good advices from them. And don't go yet, because our team has done up a very nice photo montage of our direct scholarship and sponsorship recipients. So have a look at it. Well, I hope you enjoy this photo montage. I would like to take this chance to extend our heartfelt thanks to all our industry partners, scholars, sponsored students, and guests here today. And meanwhile, do continue to practice our safe management measures at your workplaces as well as schools. Signing off, this is Architect Colin Chew, reporting live from the BCA Breda campus. Have a pleasant afternoon.